With the worsening food security crisis and sky-high inflation in Africa, particularly Nigeria, an estimated 288 million Africans are reported to be at the brink of extreme starvation, and the Council of Anglican Provinces of Africa, with about 85 million members, will not resign to prayers alone. Leaders of the Anglican Communion are showing concerns on the existential threat of hunger and economic hardship in Africa by offering a platform to inspire, project, and stabilize Africa.
In brief, to achieve an authentic life for Africa, thorough decolonization must be given serious attention. We must be happy to identify ourselves as Africans. For them to threaten us with food and all this and all that, there is bush everywhere. Plant your corn and eat it.
We must seek to build a church and African nations that are built on self-propagating, self-sustaining, and self-governing principle.
Perhaps speech is compelling enough to whet the appetite for a roadmap of the desired Africa, one that is loud in prosperity, but silent in hunger. No doubt, a perfect prelude for the keynote speaker, the president of the African Development Bank, Adesina. For him, food insecurity is very depressing, and Nigeria must feed itself.
Nigeria cannot rely on importing food to stabilize prices. Nigeria should be producing more food to stabilize food prices, while creating more jobs and reducing foreign exchange expenditures that will, of course, help to stabilize further the naira. I feel today, as somebody who was a former minister, like Prophet Jeremiah, the food importation policy of Nigeria gives a distressing trumpet sound. Nigeria cannot import its way out of food insecurity. Nigeria must now be turned into a food import dependent nation. A nation that depends on others to feed itself is independent only in name. Nigeria must feed itself with pride.
The AFDB president is recommending a high-performing technological-driven initiatives for the growth of agriculture in Africa.
Essentially, food is money. The size of the food and agricultural market in Africa would rise to $1 trillion, hear me properly, $1 trillion by 2030. That's 6 years from now. And so I don't believe the future billionaires of Africa or the future are going to come from oil and gas. No. They're going to come from the agriculture sector because food is big money. And there is no doubt in my mind that Africa must be and will be at the center of feeding the world. And why do I say that? 65% of the arable land that's yet uncultivated in the world is not in the United States,